Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. Underground dialogue. We gon' tell the truth. We ain't scared like a lot of y'all. Matters who they are. Do we bow? No, not at all. Dropping bombs on this wicked world, so it gotta fall. From the industry to the Oval Office, we expose the darkest motives of them all and disclose what the protocol is. Thinking and moving logical, stopping every maneuver possible, and apologizing for truth is not optional. We gon' help you with what you go through, reshape and mold you, and sweep over them weak lies they told you. If you living with no clue, we gon' deprogram the old you, and you get to keep your soul too.
What's good, man? It's your big brother, K. Reno.
It's your boy, Keith Stove.
And y'all are tuned in to another episode of the Underground Dialogue Podcast, where the name speaks for itself. We have a legend with us today, man. A legend on top of a legend, man. This guy has been in the game for over 20 plus years. He has laid out some of the greatest rap songs that we could not imagine ourselves living without had he not existed. He's a 4-time Grammy Award winner, an OG of the ATL rap scene, and he has used rap music as a platform and as a vehicle to make not only his life better, but the lives of other people, man. The one and only Mr. Killer Mike. How you doing, family?
Oh, man, Keith okay, Reno, I'm glad, man. Thank y'all so much. I'm honored, man. I appreciate y'all being patient. I've been running, trying to do everything in Houston in a day.
Yeah.
It's hard to do. Yeah, you need at least 3 days.
No, bro. You know, Houston, the big city, and you a busy man, bro.
And a lot of my influences from here, including you. You know what I mean? So man. I was trying to get out to holler at Brad today. Sorry I couldn't make it out, OG, but I'm going to come back and make another trip with just. But, man, whether it's him or Bun or you or Ro, like, you know, I just got people I just really got a lot of love and respect for Corey Mo.
Yeah,
you know, we've got him more in Atlanta these days.
But you know, I'm glad you said that, because that's one of the things I wanted to ask you. It seems like Houston and Atlanta have always had this little kinship.
Yeah, because it used to be 2 cities in hip hop. It was New York and LA, and then it was the South. That we was together. They didn't care if you was from Miami or Houston, right. Galveston, Port Arthur. We was just the South. So it's like throughout the South you have cousins. Some of my cousins live in Mississippi, Alabama. Some of my cousins live in Louisiana, Texas, and you feel the genuine connection there. You know, country folk ain't that different. Some of our accents are different. You know, we still all eat rice and beans, some form of protein. So I've always felt the kinship to Houston, because Atlanta. You know, before it was Atlanta, it was Miami, and it was Memphis, and it was Houston. Right. You know, and kind of the framework for what we were going to be from a Southern rap perspective. For me personally, it's been defined by what rap I did in the late '80s, early 90s, what Ghetto Boys and in particular Scarface meant to me. What this city meant to me in terms of, I remember my buddy going to Mississippi State and coming back and telling me about screw music. Yeah. My buddy Robert Hicks played off his tackle from Mississippi State. He came back telling me about all the boys from Texas playing this screw. And I heard him, and I was just like, I didn't get it. Then I got high. I was like, "Whoa!" You know, I was like, "Oh, I get it." You know, like, "Oh, this what it's supposed to feel like." So Houston's had a tremendous influence on my life. I'm very thankful.
You know, one of the things I thought about when we were kids, was talking about Atlanta and Houston, kind of like kinship.
Yeah.
One thing that we both had, y'all had Freaknik.
Yeah.
We had
the Calvin Beans party.
You gotta be there to know about it.
Man, country folk know how to party. I did not know this till my sister them told me. It's a thing called Nigga Day in Atlanta. Like, I promise you, just ask somebody from Georgia. Not from Atlanta, somebody from Georgia. So, man, black folk, man, one thing about it, man, we gonna party. And then country folk, period, because you get down there in Mobile, boy, you get no white folks on the boat, you play they spring break, they be out on the ball. Yeah. So country folk do know how to party. Right, so Houston has always been a great town, too.
You are one of the OG pioneers of the rap scene. I know there were guys who probably came before you.
Yeah, a lot of guys.
But you were one of the ones, along with the Outkast and the Goody Mob, who kind of hit that scene and really busted that.
Well, me in the 2000s, you know, Organized Noise and the Dungeon family laid for us in the early 90s and forward. What Outkast was able to do from 94 forward, what Goody Mob was able to do, EJ the Witch Doctor, Cool Breeze, Backbone. You know, what they were able to do was lay a foundation. So when I, came along in the early 2000s, I had a firm foundation set, and I had audience willing to listen to me. And I appreciate that. I can't claim to be one of the forefathers. I'm one of the kids that benefited from, but I'm so fortunate to have been accepted in Dungeon Family. Rest in peace to Rico Wade. Thank Ray and Sleepy forever. Big Gip, him, Big Rube. But if I wouldn't have had a place to be cultivated, and I won't know where I'd be. So I'm extremely appreciative, You've
done something that I think is overlooked and real significant, in that, you being from the hood, just like all the rest of being from the hood to rap, you have showed and demonstrated to young artists coming up, black artists coming up, that it's okay to be from the hood but still be intelligent.
I already knew what you was gonna say.
Yeah. It's like
not even okay with it. In my neighborhood, it was expected.
Right.
You know, there's nobody like a dumb dope dealer. Yeah. You know, just to be very frank with you, you know, there was a man named Wesley Merritt who got taken to court for tax evasion by the United States. Wesley Merritt, one of the biggest, allegedly numbers man and looker man. Wesley Merritt read Plato and he read Shakespeare. He was a brilliant man. He just was not given the opportunity through the school system, so he found another way. But he was killed in the 90s. He was killed by just a kid on some road mission like kids are doing now. And the reporters, the AJC covered, the Atlanta Journal-Constitution covered his funeral. And the guys, the white reporters said, well, it wasn't this guy. He was essentially an outlaw, an underworld figure. Yeah. And then the guy who was talking about him essentially eulogized him in one sentence, said it's a right way to do wrong. Yeah. So for me, intelligence was something that was absolutely necessary. The criminals I looked up to was intelligent. I didn't look up for them. People hear me rap about a guy named Fat Steve. Fat Steve, back after 2 federal stints, now got his own barbershop again. But Fat Steve was the first guy I saw, denim jeans, pressed white polo shirt, subtlety with a Rolex on, but he didn't have a bunch of jewelry. Steve owned a tow truck company, barbershops, 23, 24 hours. Like, he was the guy that I saw. That's who I want to be. Now, I see all my other buddies in the chain now. All that's cool, but it's something different about him. So I've always been attracted to intelligence because I saw dumb people get treated badly.
Right.
And I never wanted to be treated bad.
Yesterday, we was at the Symphony at the show yesterday.
Yeah.
And I was pointing out to Kay, I was looking at your logo. I said, you see that it got horns?
And the halo.
I've been listening to your notes, to your CDs and stuff, and I was noticing, is Michael's whole thing about balance? Because it seems like I was listening to Run, right?
Yeah, Run.
I got 3 things from it. I got one thing that said, don't never give up.
No.
Start right now,
right.
Get active.
Absolutely.
And then also run for office. So, is that what Mike is about, the balance?
I think Michael, the human being, is about finding balance. Yeah. Like I grew up with the 2 most polarizing figures in my life, my grandmother and my mother. My grandmother was very, very, very conservative in terms of, Southern Black Baptist Christian woman.
Right.
But she was SCLC. She was, married to the movement. My mother was her flower child, her wild child, her only child she had by birth. But my mother was an artist. And my mother was like every artist into everything. She was free with speaking about, she caught me reading Playboy as a kid because I was reading. She was like, no harm, no foul. You know what I'm saying? She was, she smoked marijuana from me. Yeah, but she literally caught me reading. She knew I was going to get to the titties, but she was like, he's reading. I remember her telling my dad, like, hey, no harm, no foul. At least I know he like girls. So, so growing up with that, it was this fight for the mind of Michael to some degree between these 2 amazing women that I went on a chain today. And my grandmother just wanted me to love the Lord and wanted me to live by his friends. And my mother was like, search for something. Mm-hmm. God is always in you, but search, make life an adventure. So for me, the horns and halos represent that. The horns and halos. And I think it took me that long to accept that for me, that there's a balance that I have or that I'm seeking to keep that most people, it's easy to go either way. It's easy to say, I'm a vehement I'm adherent to the positive or the negative. But I think that there's balance in there. Like, I'm the same guy that's going to speak at the funeral on Friday, is going to be at the Blue Flame on Saturday and church on Sunday, and the organizer meeting on Monday.
But a lot of people ain't real enough to openly share. Somebody gonna carry themselves like they holier than now.
Yeah.
Really not. So it's always better to just be real. I'm not a perfect being, by no stretch of the imagination. I want you to tell me what you think about this real quick.
Yeah.
So many great people have come out of the city of Atlanta where they was born and raised there, where they ended up there. You think about Dr. Martin Luther King, you think about people like Andrew Young.
Absolutely.
And I don't know how you're going to take this, but I put you in that line.
Oh, wow.
Because of the work that you do just outside of music and like I say, all the efforts that you carry out on our behalf and on the behalf of everybody. Martin Luther King only lived to be 39.
Yeah.
And I know you're older than that now. Do you look at yourself in that line? Because you've done so much, bro.
Man, I tell you this. I know.
Don't be humble. Just tell the truth.
I know. I know who I am. I know God got a purpose for me. I don't always pretend to know what that purpose is, but I know I have one. I know I'm on a journey. I don't know where I'm going, but I know I'm on one. I've known who I was since I was a child, and what I mean by that is my dad. Big Mike, I got two dads, a bio and a non-bio dad, but my dad, Big Mike, called me one time. He said, I know I put a chip on your shoulder when I told you, son, they call it starving artist for a reason. Yeah. That's what he said. I told him, I said, I'm going to drop out of more out and I'm going to be a rapper. Now, as a grown man, I look back like, boy, that's the stupidest shit you could have said to your dad. Your dad, his daddy died, he had worked hard. He was a single, he was a teenage dad himself. The last thing you want to hear is your 19-year-old child telling him, I'm going to drive, I want to be a rapper. Right. I was see, and I'm going to lead the most prestigious black male college led by Benjamin E. Mays. I'm going to lead there, Martin Luther King with there. I'm going to lead there. Man, I had to be nuts. But my daddy said, they call it starving artist for a reason. There was a article about me in a British publication where it essentially just described me as a leader. Yeah. And my dad said, son, I wanted to call you because I wanted to say that I never not believed in you. I believe you could do anything you wanted to do. He said, but man, if I took you to nursery and left you in the room and walked out and me and the teacher peeked back in, you was going to be standing in front of the kids and say, hey, this is what we finna do. He said, I've known you as this your entire life. I just wanted you to realize it. So, how do you did as your dad say that? Now, I've always found myself, I don't try to be the boss of everything, but I've never minded being in a leadership position. So I've been an organizer since I was 15 years old. And then now I'm more of a mobilizer because I'm not there on a weekly basis to organize, but I know who I am, and so absolutely, I know I could run for the local office right now and probably win. I would argue after some of the national stuff that I could probably win a pretty powerful office. But man, I'm so in love with rap, and I know I got a few years left. Even though they try to put an age limit on it, I just came off a 3 Grammy sweep last year. I'm coming off making some of the best music of my life, so I'm thankful that God's allowing me to do this. But I absolutely know there's something else I have to do.
And one of the things I wanted to ask you about when you just said how I love you are with rap, right? Yeah. Let's bring some balance to this thing, right? Okay. I always want to ask you, did Tip ever jump on you? Or me? Or ask for 5 friendly minutes? Because after that verses you put on Libra album, you're not supposed to do that to the man on his own album.
Man, let me tell you something, man. Listen, man, I get a chance to rap next to people like Tip, Dro, Titty Boy, we call 2 Chainz, I still call him Tit. Man, jeez, I'm around some of the best, most fierce, stylistically competition. So first of all, I just thank my dog for letting me get on. But beyond that, me and Tilt just bring out something great in each other. He always bring out something great in me. So if you've heard me and you liked it more, it was only because I was with my brother. You know what I mean? It's only because I'm running next to him. I'm able to run fast as I can.
So you heard?
No, I haven't.
He got this verse that bad boy, tell me what you're gonna do when the police kill your mama. Yeah, right. I fought Obama with the crack. When he get them crack, they get me out of him. I mean, it's a good message. But at the end of the day, rap is a competition at the same time. So when I was hearing that, I said, "Oh, Mike," and that's when I knew this next album was gonna be trouble.
Said, you don't get to me, man. To me, man, it's like I get a chance to rap that.
When I first heard him, it was your voice that cut through, that resonated. Before I could even really lock into the words, I was like, man, this dude here coming in fire, coming in nuclear. You got one of those type of voices, man. You got it's a fierceness about your delivery.
I appreciate you.
You got something coming about you that's like, I'm finna tear y'all head off.
Man, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate. Listen, man, y'all grow dope voices in Texas. Like, Ted, when you start talking about Texas, man, I used to want a baritone voice. Like, y'all speaking voice so amazing. Just, man, when I remember, man, just for hours listening to Face, listening to Bun, just like, damn, I wish I had a voice like that. I'm from the school of Ice Cube, so it's what I mean.
Nah, so your voice is unique, bro. I think you in that same vein. I mean, your voice it cuts, man. It's like if you was walking in that hall and you were just talking to somebody, people gonna turn around.
So when me and my old lady be in Amsterdam, it never fails. I'd be walking down the street and say something to her, and an old person will turn around. It was this old person, man. This old lady walked. She was in all white, a little furs and whatnot because it's cold on me. She stopped. She says, "I know you." Yeah. And I said, "Excuse me?" She says, "I know you. Yeah. Michael, I watch you on Bill Maher. I know that voice anywhere." And it tripped me out because I'd always heard I had a special voice. But to be honest, man, I don't sound good at Ro. I don't sound good as K Reno. I don't sound good. So I never thought much of my voice. You know what I mean? I never thought. I never had that deep.
But see, God gives what he gives to who he gives it
Absolutely.
to.
Amen.
Yours is so suited and tailor-made for you.
Yeah.
So I can say the same thing you just said, man, I don't sound like Killer. I can't do, because it's ways that you can deliver that I can't.
I appreciate
so
you.
that's just the reality of that.
That's like
man.
seeing two boxers talk about styles. Like it's a compliment coming from you to hear that. So, but yeah, man, I'm blessed. I'm blessed with a unique voice. I'm blessed with a real passion for doing it, you know, and I'm blessed with a good oratorical skill. People, for some reason, like hearing me talk, which is why when I run for office, I think I'm gonna win big. We gonna see
I win.
Yeah.
Nah, you gonna win.
Because as a married man in this game, right?
Yeah.
And in the society that we're living in right now,
Yeah.
could you tell us or the viewers what is the benefit of marriage for men? Even while a lot of times people don't really see a benefit in marriage for men.
I mean, it depends on who you're marrying, what you're married for. I mean, if you're looking at the raw numbers for it, it's not to your advantage as a guy. You know what I mean? You stand a chance of losing if you don't do a prenup. You know, the law can legally make you do what you're supposed to do in terms of paying child support, alimony, anything. The law can't make a mother do it. There's no enforceable thing, you know, really. So if you look at it, that's how you know more men than not, in my opinion, marry for love. You know what I mean? They marry for love and trust and companionship. But I don't define what your marriage is. I got some.
What's the benefits for you?
For me, what it's been for me is that I've been able to emulate the relationship my grandparents had. I mean, and my grandparents, my grandfather, you know, he didn't sell his house. So that house got rented out. That house allowed him to have an RV and take us on vacation every year. That grew me and my little sister's perspective. Therefore, we were not as impressed by petty shit and bullshit because we got a chance to travel, to see everything from the North Georgia mountains to the Gulf of Florida. Around the little Southeast, they got us there. So my grandfather turned that check over to my grandmother. So my grandmother managed the household effectively. I heard 50 Cent tell a story when his grandfather would give his check to his grandmother. He was like, man, you crazy. But if she's looking at that number, she knows she can't go buy that Louis bag. Because she know I got to pay these bills, make sure these kids. So that taught me, watching them deal with money, talking about partnership. Now, whatever he made on the weekends on his side hustle, that was his money. He did whatever he made the gambling house was his money. But his first and foremost thing was to take care of what he was responsible for. It was my grandmother and then me and my sisters. My grandmother, you couldn't compliment her food.
Wow.
And her just take the compliment. Betty, man, that was some of the best food I've ever had in my life. Go thank Willie, baby. He bought it. Wow. She never accepted full accountability. She never let herself be worshipped so much like a goddess that you forgot her man. You know what I'm saying? You had to understand, you talk to my granddad. I want to say, I'm going to talk to my old lady about it. You ask my grandma, man, well, but I'm going to talk to Willie. Yeah, I got to explain to him first. So what I found in my marriage is I found a partner that I'm yoked with. You know, even though she upstairs right now, pissed because I told her I'm gonna be back an hour ago and I was running late. But she gets it, and I married her for me. What I need, I'm an artist, I'm a creative. I always think, I'll make some more money. I'm gonna get, let me go on it. You know what I'm saying? And she's always busy. Her grandmama ran the shot house, so she business minded. You know what I mean? So I married someone that balanced me. You know, and that just works for me. But I've told my sons and my nephews, don't let a girl take you seriously till you 28, 29. Mm-hmm. Don't have children until you, I would say 35 or 40. And a lot of people don't think I'm crazy, but Dr. Francis Chris Wilson said the same thing. There's some things that we need to experience in being Black, that you need to overcome a bunch of fear and little shit you've been put in a box of to get out. You need to go skiing. You need to go to the mountains. You need to go to the national park. You need to do some things before you become somebody's parent. Wow. You need to experience being by yourself before you experience being somebody else's accountability partner in a relationship. So for me, I would tell a young Black man, use your 20s to not be married. Mm-hmm. Marry yourself to some principles and terms and conditions. What type of man do I want to be? What is it going to take me to be there? Do I have to do a trade? Do I have to school? Marry that, date now, still have fun. Mm-hmm. Use condoms if you're fucking, so you don't just make no baby out of wedlock. But I would just say, marry your mission first. And as a woman, if you want to marry a man with a mission. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know how people see or not see this character, but Minister Farrakhan from the 90s has some beautiful speeches about marriage, he and his wife. And I would say for Black folk, you know, for everybody who want to listen, but especially for Black folks, I would say listen to Minister Farrakhan and his talks about marriage, listen to Dr. Francis Chris Wilson and her advice on that thing, because it's hard, it's very difficult, it's not easy. You and this person gonna love each other some days and hate each other's ways. Not hate each other, but hate each other's ways the other days. But boy, once you in stroke, once you get it going, boy, it ain't nothing better.
Man, you went in my mind on that one, because the minister always talks about the science of mating. and it is a science. You almost made me cry one time, bro.
Oh man,
Because I saw the video when you was talking to the minister. You was in the audience.
Oh man.
And when you started talking to the minister, man, and you got emotional.
I did.
And like I'm feeling it now, like man.
I did.
First of all, I just want to say, man, I'm genuinely overwhelmed.
See, this is a beautiful human. That's a great man right there. See, that's him. Go ahead, Killer Mike.
Before I was ever Killer Mike, I was just Michael Renda. I grew up west side here, 15 minutes west of here. And I've been a follower and a listener, a study and admirer. Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. I was 15 years old. And coming out of mosque number 15 under Van Muhammad, Brother Van Muhammad brought in the mosque.
Yes.
By formerly Conrad Muhammad's brother, formerly Shannon Muhammad, Shannon Jones, now at Ebenezer Baptist Church.
Yes.
So I know, there's no other way to say it, I know, and it's caused me to be in clash with people within the industry and clash in high school with teachers. And when you know, you feel a moral responsibility, regardless of the music. When you say something, you say something. I haven't had the hit songs that a lot of my contemporaries had. I haven't had the vanity recognition a lot I've had, but I'm in the same circles because I've always stood on integrity and respect because it was always what was expected of me, of the men that were surrounding me. My father who introduced me to Islam, Michael Renda Sr., Brothers of the Nation, even Brothers of Sunnis who got me later, and I'm glad I'm kind of calm and composed myself. I was telling my brother No ID earlier, I have a hard time being in your presence. I feel a lot like that rich man who just asked Jesus, what do I need to do? Or that woman who wanted to touch his garment. So I want to duly acknowledge that you are God's force and you've moved in my life for over half my life, and I appreciate you so greatly, more than you will ever know. And I realize with the persecution of Griff and with the persecution of Chuck, that was an example. As a child, I realized that this is what they're going to do to you if you choose to align yourself in any way with this man publicly. This is a lesson for the rappers who coming after. I realized when Clinton attacked Sister Soldier, that was letting them sisters know, don't you get too conscious and don't you teach those children. And I've said these things in song and out. And I'll continue to do it. It doesn't matter to me if I ever sell 1 million, if I never sell any. That doesn't matter to me. Because I was raised on the principles of manhood. I met with you last year. And in speaking to you, you gave myself, Ludacris, you gave the boy Too Short, you gave us this message. Much more palatable. You didn't get as fierce with us. You talked to us lovingly. And I know I understand that time is coming. But I don't think the people in this room, and I don't even mean the rappers and my contemporaries, people, they don't understand the game they stepped into. When I spoke to you at that time, I was ready, honestly, to set it on Al Sharpton. I was so angry and so filled with rage that he jumped right behind the rappers and he went to the man behind him and said, I'm going to ask you to legislate and stop this. And I was angry because I felt like once again a black preacher had snubbed us and you stopped me dead cold in my tracks. And you gave me about 10 minutes of talking that brought me all the way back down because I forgot in my anger and in my vanity, because I'm a rapper, how dare you attack where am I living? My vanity calls me to want to do some of the same things that have been done in the past that split us. And you warned against that. I sat in the same room and I warned my brother David Banner against that. And they laid the trap eloquently and they turned what was really about black men, not even just in Gina, not even just with Tip, not even just with this other stuff, not even with Vic. They turned it into 2 black men arguing versus 2 black men arguing against the lies of power with truth. And you gave me a lot. So I just want to just defer comment. I want to just sit. And I just want to hear you tell them that, because they don't understand, Minister, that when we stepped into hip-hop and when we got money, you became a politician. You're so much more than a rapper. We feel as though we rapping, we represent what's real, and that ought to be enough. when you said we stepped into a game bigger than we know, we don't understand we're on the world stage. I've been to over 4 countries now. I've been to over 4 continents. I've been to many different countries. And the one thing I see when I go in every country, I see an Ice Cube shirt, a Tupac shirt, and a Niggas with Attitude shirt. The police, the life and death side, and we all know Tupac's legacy. They don't have a concept of how global their message is. They have no concept that no longer are you just rappers, because hip-hop was never rap. It was a self-motivation force to transform the lives of people in the South Bronx, and it became a worldwide force to transform the lives of everybody, and we have zero understanding of it. The black managers and executives that say that they understand have no understanding, because they're more worried about 4 first-week numbers than they are systemic change over 52 weeks of the year by the music. They have no understanding that the words of revolution, when they say F the police because they were harassed in Compton or harassed in Atlanta, or Tip was caught by the ATF, they have no understanding that this affects young men in Rwanda, that it affects the struggle in Darfur. They have no understanding. They have no understanding of the true global impact that they have. They have zero understanding of what aligning themselves in front of or behind closed doors with men. The preachers have been bribed and taken out of the equation. The government bribes women to keep black men out of these countries. And when you say this, people look at you as though you're a fool. I got money or I get money. I just want you to help people in this room understand the truly global effect that an A&R will have when he says, I'm going to stand with you with this song. And we're going to make this song work. I want you to people with their vanity titles of VPs and presidents of these so-called companies that get fired very easily as a UPS worker can keep his job longer than some brothers in this room, because he's a member of a union. Yet we have no real unions amongst us. We have no real unions that align us together formally or informally. And I would like for you to speak to that, because these brothers have no idea of how truly connected we are. They have no understanding that what's happening in the South happened in South Africa, and if freedom and emancipation can happen there, it can happen here. I just need you to really get to the core. Stop going easy on us. Give it to them. Help them understand that you're beyond where you thought you at. We don't understand that when we speak against war, they would like to kill us like Dr. King. They would like to take one of us out like Mac was taking. Say, well, he's the fault. He's to blame. They don't understand that if government organizations will turn SNCC against the SCLC, what you think they'll do with Grind Time and Purple Ribbon, and I've been a part of it. And I want to apologize. I want to make peace. Last March, I was in the room with Big Boy with you, and we listened and we heard that message, and we just engaged in sheer stupidity publicly. And we took a legacy that they had been building for 5 years, and we drug it through the mud. And I've been a part of that, and I want to apologize to Dee Dee. I want to tell the members of the hip-hop community I apologize for my part, but I really want you to speak to, and if you don't speak to nobody else, just speak to me. Because I want to do it right and not wrong, because I'm tired. I'm tired of seeing my people fall.
Thank you, brother. Thank you. Thank you. Let's hear it for brother. Thank you.
Bro, the sincerity, man, it was like, that ain't fake, bro.
No, sir.
That dude,
No, sir.
you have such a love for black people, man, and such a concern for our future and where we going, bro. Man, what came out of you that day? Because I was
just overwhelmed.
Yeah.
I'm talking to a fearless leader.
Yeah.
Like, man, this man could have sold y'all out a long time ago. He could have got quiet, could have went away, could have accepted money and donations. He could have went to Libya and just said, I ain't got to go back to America.
He could have got tired of the persecution, the decades of that he was receiving.
And he didn't. He stayed on the whipping post for us. Now, I don't try to judge who leading who and whatever. What I'm saying is, man, I've seen very few black people totally stand with us against all odds. So when I see it, I gotta acknowledge it. So I was just overwhelmed that day because I love him.
Yeah.
I sincerely love him because he loves us, you know, and that's all. Ain't nothing else to be said. I don't ask other people to explain they polarizing figures, and I don't give explanation for mine. You know what I mean? So everybody got somebody in their culture that's gonna offend somebody else, and they don't make no apologies for us. I don't make no apologies. I appreciate
Never
them.
make no apology for standing with the minister, man. I was so proud. I said, man, that brother there, man.
People all want to argue the big stuff about his politics. I don't care as much about his politics as he tells you how to treat your woman.
Right. Yeah.
He tells you, follow, right now they tell you, what do they say, eat once a day, and
Right.
white folks charge you money on IG to tell you how to eat once a day. Elijah Muhammad told you that, how to eat to live. People say, Mike, you done lost some weight. I just started doing what how to eat to live. So got back to eating once a day, got back to eating less breads and heavy stuff, got back to moving around. Like, it's the science to who we supposed to be already there. And if you didn't get it through Nation Islam, Reverend Knight tried to give it to you too.
Without a doubt.
I believe that the original people are who look like us, that our creator is sending us messages through people. Yeah. And I just believe he's one of those people, and I appreciate him for it.
Absolutely. We appreciate you, man. The ability that you have to kind of galvanize and bring, you just say you're an organizer.
Yeah.
We was at the show last night and we just looking around at this
all different kind of
pot.
people.
Yeah.
Like,
and what the unique thing is that that's not uncommon if you are an artist who intentionally caters to those types of audiences. You still unapologetically black.
Yes.
And you still get those people that gravitate toward you.
Yeah, because I'm not anti. I don't hate nobody. You don't need to hate nobody to love black people. You know what I mean? And honestly, what I understand is that I'm a member of the worker class. Yeah. And the worker class is black in this country and others. The worker class in a Siberian country, probably everybody gonna be white. But the oppressing class are always gonna treat us like that. The same people made the word nigga, made the word cracker. So the same people who describe us as niggas based on the fact that we black, because nigger, N-I-G, E-R-A-R in Latin, it just meant black. Right. So the same people say, well, whether they Ethiopian, whether they Nigerian, whether they whatever, the Kush, them is niggas. All them black folks, right? Them niggas. And we gonna bring them niggas over here, we gonna work them niggas, right? Well, cracker is just a poor person. The United Kingdom was a poor white person, almost a gypsy-like person. So what niggas and crackers don't understand is that we got the same masters. Yeah. And they're just as brutal on us. Where they can't lock up black boys in Alabama, they locking up poor white boys. And they putting their ass in a private prison and letting them be slaves according to the 13th Amendment. Where they can't pick black boys in the middle of the country, they picking up poor white boys. And when poor blacks and poor whites and poor Asians, poor Latinos start to realize they have the same masters and organize and galvanize around that, then you get a Fred Hampton-like situation where you get truly a rainbow coalition of people that are willing to push together against your oppressors. But we have the exact same oppressors. And that's the shame. And I think that's what people see in me, that I don't have any hatred or even a distance from you. Yeah. I'm black. I'm not going to not be black now, but I understand I'm a member of the worker class. And in that sense, we all have to be united in our fight against the oppression from our masters.
Beautiful, beautiful, man. Your political affiliations have been, widely known. Yeah. And, I'm just going to be honest with you, man. I'm a person as far as the national goes.
Yeah, yeah.
I have
it doesn't matter as much as local.
But you are one of the people from years ago, along with Minister Farrakhan, who kind of made me not dismiss it all in terms of the local. The importance of local.
That's the most important thing.
And the state to some degree.
Yeah, but hyper local is it. Who your city council person is, who your wards person is, who your mayor, and who's the head person on your mayor's team, who leads that administration while the mayor out shaking hands and bringing business back. That's what's truly important, because who your school board is, who your police, you can touch it. And when I say you can touch it, I mean my grandmama called the mayor's office. If she can't get nobody, me and her. This me, her, and one of my cousins. What? Excuse me, man. What are you doing? I'm down here to see the mayor. Yeah. What do you mean, ma'am? Do you have an appointment? No. Yeah. But I voted for him. Right. And my trash ain't been picked up this week. And boy, within 6 phone calls, she could get the mayor on the phone. Now, her grandson within 1 phone call, I could just call the mayor. But had I not been on her skirt hem, had I not been there working to get Andy in office, had I not there been trying to work on the behalf of whatever local person she would support, I wouldn't have known to be that active. And I wouldn't have known. Hey, baby, I wouldn't have known. So for me, this is my puppy, y'all. Hey,
Cage puppy.
Hey, come here.
What is that?
A toy poodle, man.
Okay. Toy. Oh, that's a toy. Oh, you know what it is.
So had I hadn't had Betty, Had I hadn't had Betty, I wouldn't have known. So I got to thank my grandmother. Now, my grandfather was probably more libertarian in his views. He wanted the least amount of government in his life as possible. But he wasn't mad at holding a politician accountable. So for me, when people see me being politically active, it's first and foremost hyper local. Second, like you say, on a statewide, you should know who your state senators and Congress people are, because those are the people that are voting for the laws that are. But you should also try your best to have a relationship with governor, with mayor. And on a national, I tend to support people nationally who support the things that I would support on a local level. So you don't see me jump out every presidential campaign. I went for Sanders because nationally, he was expounding things that from a very local level I expounded, which is why I loved him to death as a candidate and would support him all over again. You know what I mean?
From the root of what he was talking about.
Absolutely, from the root.
We got a couple more for you.
This is my last one. I'm gonna kick it over. Yeah. But I know you own a barbershop, right?
I own barbershops, yeah. We're growing a franchise and growing some products, yeah. My wife and you know my name ain't on none of the I do it like a drug dealer. I still like a dope boy. My wife on everything.
I wanted to ask you this though about the barbershop, because I grew up coming up in the barbershop.
Yeah.
And I wanted to ask you, do you believe that the talks and the communication, that brotherhood that builds up at that barbershop is ideal for a child? I mean, it's how important is it for a young brother?
Most important.
Straight trying to become and learn this life.
One most important place you can be is in the social center called the Black Barbershop. People think the strip club's all about titties and ass, and then they come to Atlanta and they say, man, this don't feel just like can't see titties and ass. It felt more like a social center. So when you go to the Blue Flame, it ain't like you just going to the Blue Flame and seeing women shake. You sitting down, man, I might see Reno, might see you, and we might start talking about, well, this is what needs to happen at that school bus stop. Well, man, when I go back to the mayor's office tomorrow, I'm gonna let them know, and within 3 weeks, it's a stop sign. There ain't no more kids getting hit. It's a social center. Barbershops, black men in their barbershops are social centers. If you want to win, we got Kasim Reed in office. He had a very tough fight against Mary Norwood. Look, quaint white lady. Look like the kind of white lady you think nice, you gonna vote for. I like her a lot. She cool. I didn't want her to be my mayor though. Went out, Kasim said I gotta get some more votes. We went to barbershops, beauty shops. Barbershops essentially is you not a Mason, but it's a Masonic hall. You're not in a frat, but it's a fraternal hall, because what you are, you in a group of men. It's safe to say what you want to say and the things that you want to say and are going to say, but it gives you a place to be organizing on a constant basis. So I own a barbershop because it's cool. The swag shop, the shave washing room shop. You come in, man, looking clean as y'all brothers. You come out looking even cleaner. You can take over the world. But I also own a barbershop because if you wish to put information from getting medical checkups to it's time to vote, any information you want to get to a mass group of black men, you're going to get in that barbershop. And I would like to be the filter that stuff comes through. So my wife and I own shops because we like making money. We like being in business, like people swagging out, but also in an era of no more record stores, in an era where people don't get together anymore. Then if I bring my artists through town, I'm gonna bring them through the barbershop. If I got somebody who wants to talk to the proletariat, I'm gonna bring them through the barbershop. So I own barbershops. I own barbershops that are stores, but more than that, my barbershops are social centers.
I remember how much the barbershop used to be able to give back to the
we still do.
Community.
My wife every year. We still do.
Get the basketball team.
Absolutely.
So that's why.
So we're going to be franchised. So expect to see swag shops in Houston. Expect to see swag shops in San Antonio and Dallas and more. So just look forward to that, because we're going to come through your town. We're going to find out what's the biggest, baddest, most wild, greatest barbershop, and we're going to partner with the owners of those shops and be opening shops.
Okay, we got two more. We're going to get you up out of here, man. Because you just mentioned about the record store. You come from the era when it was CDs and tapes.
Yes.
So how have you been able to make the transition from it being a record store? We had those relationships. All of a sudden now everything is digital, physical copies on life support.
I still don't know, because see, I've never really made money from selling. You know, first day I went gold, still ain't make no money. My money has always come from touring. So my thing is, man, are my shows selling out? And they're selling out.
You were signed in the beginning.
Yeah, I was signed in the beginning. I didn't left a bad taste in my mouth.
Right.
And not them saying ain't the thing. I wasn't built for that.
Right.
But what I am built for is to drop records for free. My Run the Jewels drops records for free. I'm built to get on the road and tour. But cassette, CDs, and wax is really selling again.
No doubt.
Because my grandfather taught me, he was telling me about girls, he said, boy, you can't own nothing you can't put in a jar and measure. And I ain't never seen a woman put in a cup. So what he helped me understood is that tangibles matter. So I want to just say to people, that buy something physical
Yeah,
that you
man.
don't lose.
Come
Ain't
on,
nothing
Mike.
wrong with downloading it, but buy something that you can have whole put on your wall, even if you never play it, because at any time they can hit the buzzer on these phones and you don't have that music no more.
You're speaking to his song right now.
Yeah, I'm start crying, man. Yeah, because I think it's it's an intentional move to remove
No, I agree.
physicals based on the fact that it took away a lot of the power
I
from
agree.
independence. Because now we got to go through the Spotify's and it's like they paying.
Hey, people, get back
crumbs
to
on
mine.
crumbs.
I'd rather buy $10 for a tape I like.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
100,000 times. Make
Right.
make the person
and,
I like
and
really
you're gonna
mean.
make 8 to 10 off of that compared to them crumbs they paying you off of
Absolutely.
there. Now we'll get you out of here on this one, man.
Okay.
So lot of rumors. What happened at the Grammys, man? What happened,
Well, I
man?
don't even know, dog. I don't even know. I just know, boy, the security wasn't with me that day. I wasn't with security, wasn't nobody with nobody.
Yeah.
And then they locked me up. But I tell you what, they locked up a rapper. They released a folk hero.
Right,
My
right,
wife and I got
right.
back home, man, from the Pappadeaux to the Waffle House. When we walked in the standing ovation.
Man.
So I don't wish nobody no bad. I'm still happy I won the Grammy. I want to tell all the Travis Scott fans out there, hey, man, I love y'all little motherfuckers, man, because I love Travis too, but I worked my ass off in the 50th year of
Absolutely.
hip hop. I made an
Absolutely.
absolutely phenomenal album, and I encourage every hip hop head or every lover of it to listen, because it's just a story of a 9-year-old boy who made his dreams come true. A 9-year-old black boy in an impossible time, and it was the middle of the crack era, in an impossible country. You ain't supposed to be able to win if we won. And I say we because the people who heard that album and it pierced their heart and resonated with them. Something for Junkies, Motherless, High and Holy. We won.
Right, right.
We won, and I appreciate the Grammy and the committees from around the country that voted for me. And beyond that, I have, after that, that arrest thing, that ain't no big thing. That's expunged. It was never, I can still own my gun, smoke all the reefer I want. But I went around to every city that I went to, going to these charities and the organizations that the Grammy Committee supports. And I just want to say I'll support the Grammys the rest of my life for the work they're doing. For the work that they're doing in terms of 501c3s that are on the ground that need funding and need attention. They're doing the Lord's work. So I got to get a Grammys.
And plus, man, coming from where we come from, bro, it's not about, to me, about the actual Grammy. It's just about the accomplishment, the ascension.
Amen.
To just, okay, man, at some point in time, you was a little dude in the hood, no money, broke. So now you are on that platform, on that stage, receiving that. It's not about the physical trophy. It's about where my brother came from to where he is, man.
Amen.
So we appreciate you, man. We proud of you. Continue success. Keep doing what you're doing, and everybody out there, man. This is a valuable brother that we have in our community.
Means the world coming from him. Means the world coming from you. You men have a lot more stuff to worry about than music sometimes. So for all the brothers out there and the sisters that love me, that took some time to give me a listen, thank you.
Oh, no doubt about it, man. We're going to close out on that note, man. It's your big brother, K. Reno.
And it's your boy, Keith Stokes.
And it's the Underground Dialogue Podcast, man. And we are out. And it's your big brother, K. Reno. Look, man, the Underground Dialogue website is back in function. We back in motion, man. If y'all want Underground Dialogue Podcast merch, whatever you need, go to undergrounddialogue.com and check us out. And always make sure that every Wednesday night, y'all are checking out the Underground Dialogue Podcast right on YouTube, 9 p.m. Central Time. Yeah! What's up, man? It's your big brother, K. Reno. And check this out, man. The Underground Dialogue Podcast is offering advertising opportunities, man. You can promote your business. You can promote your video, your song, whatever it is that you have, man. Reach out to us if you're interested in promoting on the Underground Dialogue Podcast. All you got to do is email us at undergrounddialoguepodcast@gmail.com. Get it. What up, man? It's your big brother, K. Reno. I'm proud to announce that I'm a new brand ambassador to this new brand of clothing and shoes called Volage. Y'all make sure that y'all support this. It's already available. Houston-based company, straight out the A's. Look at the quality of the packaging itself. We ain't even got to the shoes yet, man. And this is just one pair of shoes, one design. They got all kinds of dope designs of shoes that you guys can choose from. Go to volage.biz, find your order, find what you want, wide selection to choose from, male and female items, and I'm proud to be a part of it, man. Community workers, versatile products, Volars, manufactured in Italy. Look at the quality of this box, man. Y'all don't know what it is, man. Catch y'all later on. Peace.
Level legit clothes, so get used to people asking you, yo, where you get those? Say we wear Volars. We showing up. We wear Volars. Next brand blowing up. We wear Volars. Get yours, try it on. We wear Volars. World when you got it on. We wear Volars. The slogan we go by. The streets to the streets, we accommodate both sides. So many fresh styles attractive to your eyes. So we gon' put them on and let the whole world know why. We wear Volars. Get yours, try it on. We wear Volars. World when you got it on. We wear Volars. The slogan we go by. The streets to the streets, we accommodate both sides. So many fresh styles attractive to your eyes. So we gon' put them on and let the whole world know